Hi, my name's Abigail Muncy. I'm an artist living on the East Coast of the United States, and this is my first ever YouTube vlog. In this video, I'm going to talk about painting larger. I'm going to talk to you about why I'm enjoying it, why I'm doing it, and what some of the inspirations for painting larger are. I'm going to show you two finished pieces, and I'm also going to take you behind the scenes as I paint these two large works and show you how they're going. At the end, I'm also going to show you a little sketchbook tour. I've been an oil painter for over a decade now. I paint landscapes, both plein air and in the studio. I've learned a lot. I've traveled, had opportunities to show my work, and to meet new friends. I'm now moving into abstract realism, painting bold, expressionistic art. Come with me now as I enter this new stage of life. So, for a long time, I've been painting pretty small. I've been painting for over 10 years, and I started out very small. And it made a lot of sense because it was a great way to learn how to paint. It was compact. It was very practical for my life, raising children, having a busy home. But as my work has become more expressive and even abstract realist, whatever you want to call it, my work's more gestural. I want to move more. I want to move my arms more. I want to make bigger marks, bolder marks. And so it's just been kind of creeping up in size. 16 by 20, 18 by 24 is now like a very comfortable size for me. So that's really the main first reason why I started painting larger. But there's another reason. And with my style changing, I'm spending more time looking at post-impressionist and modern art. I regularly visit the Phillip's collection in Washington, D.C., where I get so much inspiration from many styles of art that may be quite different from my own. It sometimes takes a huge canvas to contain these bold designs and expressive brushwork. I just love the color and gestural brush marks here in this piece by Joan Mitchell. But the work of one artist in particular has made a huge impression on me. Pierre Bonnard was a post-impressionist and a member of the Nabi. Bonnard's work is stunning, his color luminous. He's also known for his unusual compositions, where figures and objects can be cut off in unconventional ways. Because of this, I sometimes feel, especially in front of his larger canvases, as if I've stepped into the painting. This can be an emotional or even unsettling experience for me, where I feel sometimes as if I'm a guest or even an intruder. This was a light bulb moment for me, where I could really see the emotional impact of larger work. It can also feel as if I've stepped into his dreams or his visions. The luminosity of his color is especially powerful when a painting envelops your whole field of vision. By far, my favorite of his larger works is The Terrace from 1918. Because the painting is cut off right at the front of the terrace, I feel as if I have just stepped out of a door and into the Bonnard's garden. But there's an uncomfortable feeling for me, as if I've arrived too early or too late for lunch. I'm now inspired to take the risk and start painting larger, while I wait for the Bonnards to offer me coffee. Okay, so this painting is in my studio, and it's the first big painting I painted about a year and a half ago, a little bit more. I really like it. I did it in acrylic, even though I'm normally an oil painter, and I did it in acrylic so that it would dry quickly and I could kind of get the feel for whether it was going well. So that was exciting. Uh, so even though I like this painting, I really like how it turned out. I didn't paint any larger paintings for a number of months because I just didn't like see a vision for consistently working larger. So a few months ago, I decided to try my hand at some larger 24 by 36 pieces. And I did two, and this is the one that really turned out well. It started out with plein air studies. So I had been out to this scene on the Potomac River. I'd actually been there several times, but I guess last fall I did a number of sketches. So because this painting turned out so well, I now have like a lot of confidence, and I cannot seem to stop buying large canvases. And I really feel like once I've bought one, I've got to put paint on it. So I'm going to show you two larger paintings that I'm working on currently. So I just want to give you a little context when I talk about painting huge, painting large, and you might think that, say, 18 by 24 or 24 by 36 is what this is, isn't actually that large. But down below is one of the 5 by 7 studies that I did that is like a very typical size that I've worked in for a long time. So that just shows you how, for me, these paintings are like crossing the Sahara when I'm painting them. So this is my photo reference for my first piece, and it's going to be painted on a 36 by 36 inch canvas. There's a kind of misty or foggy quality to this painting that I took, and it makes me think that I can use it for my next project because I want the painting I'm about to start to have kind of a dreamy or mysterious feeling. I don't often paint from photos, but this one really seems perfect for what I want to do. So what I've done here is I've toned it with yellow ochre, and then I've just kind of mapped out the composition. Even though this is going to be very abstract, I still want to make sure that my composition works on this scale. And so I've done some little sketches, but one thing I've learned is that sometimes when you scale way up, it doesn't work. And so this is like my first pass, and I like the way it's going. These are the kind of color you can see. It's kind of hard to see what colors I mixed. I had intended to show you, but I used so much paint, there's not much left. So I'll just show you like a card that had some colors that I mixed up last night. Let me see here. Here's another one. Where I was just mixing. Okay, so good morning. It's a Saturday morning. I've got the kettle on, and this is where I am with this painting. I kind of like it, but I've run out of some of my colors, especially white, which is pretty essential. It's what happens when you paint this big. So I think today Okay, so now while that is drying, it's time to head out to my favorite pond where I'm going to do some plein air sketching. I usually start by just walking around, taking in the scenery, and doing some quick sketches in my tiny sketchbook. Then when I find a spot that I really love, I plant myself and I start painting in watercolor, gouache, or oil. Here is my next big project that I'm starting today. It's 30 inches by 40 inches, and it's going to be based off of this plein air sketch that I did at the pond. It's watercolor, a little bit of gouache, and a little bit of hard pastel like the Conti style pastels. Today I'm just going to try to make a start. I don't have a plan so much as just kind of a picture in my head of some oil sketches that I did a few years ago at this same location. I actually cannot find them now, but I remember there was something really abstract about them. So I'm going to approach this in a very intuitive way, and if it turns out great, if not, I'll share that with you as well later. So going to get started, going to mix up a little paint and see where we get to. Also, I have to try to not bump in to this still very wet 36 by 36 painting that I was working on earlier that I showed you. My studio is just a little bit small, so that is one of the issues with painting bigger. I have to kind of walk very gingerly around these wet paintings while I wait for them to get at least touch dry. So that's what we're doing today. So here is my painting as it stands right now. I went a little bit further than I meant to. I meant to show you a little bit more of the underpainting. I started out very thin. You can still see just some very thin places. I'm not sure how good the light is when I get right up to it. I like it so far, but I think it's time to stop. I've got a lot of darks down, and I did put a little bit of the sky and the blue of the water just to kind of see if I'm getting the shapes right. So I did end up putting just a little bit of thicker paint on, both with a brush. See some passages. Oh, there's a lot of glare because it's so wet. There's some passages that are both, don't know if you can tell, brush and palette knife. And I think I will just let that dry. Probably I'm just gonna have to leave it for a few days. So here are the two pieces that I worked on earlier. They are both still works in progress. They need to dry for a little while, and then I will return to them in the next week or so to see what changes or finishing touches I want to make to them. And I'll update you in a future video as to how they're going. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you did, and leave a comment below and let me know what you think. I'm now going to leave you with the sketchbook tour that I mentioned at the beginning. These are plein air sketches done in watercolor, gouache, and pastel. And they're all from recent outings that I've done over the last few months. And you did see one of them that turned into this painting over here. And anyway, enjoy. And until next time.